We, the young women in this assembly, are here to build on their legacy. We are here to break barriers, to forge new paths, and to demand that the governance of our country reflects the voices of women who live and build within it. As Prime Minister, I believe in the power of diversity. It is through embracing our differences, our backgrounds, our stories, our struggles, that we can create policies and initiatives that truly reflect the need and aspirations of the Guyanese people. Every woman in this room carries a story of resilience, and it is through these stories that we find the strength. Diversity is not our weakness. It is our greatest asset. To my fellow parliamentarians, to every girl out there, whenever you're in a room and you feel unheard, say it again. Say it louder. Say it a million different ways if you must. And when you feel that you're standing alone, remember, we have sisterhood. We have each other. We build each other. We uplift each other. Because when we stand and speak together, our voices are undeniable.
Yet, as we celebrate our privilege, we must also confront the sad reality we currently live in. While we debate today, there are children who go to bed hungry, families torn apart by poverty, persons still suffering from systemic discrimination, and communities grappling with the devastating impacts of climate change. Our planet is suffering, and so are the most vulnerable among us. It is in our power and indeed our duty to use our voices to challenge these injustices and work toward a better future. This is why we must never forget that while we may be seated on opposite sides of this chamber, our differences are tools for learning, not weapons for division. We have before us a sea of potential future politicians, young women destined to serve with integrity, compassion, and conviction. Young women that I know will make a great difference for our nation. To these same young women, I want you to remember that politics is not measured by status, money, or the temptations of corruption. A true politician, a true leader, and someone who truly wants to make a difference serves the people, upholds justice, and works tirelessly to ensure that every voice is heard, no matter our demographic.
So many of you have heard me speak before. One of the things I always say is that as women, is claim your seat. And that is exactly what I'm seeing each of you doing today. You have claimed your seat. Don't wait for people to give you opportunities. Take those opportunities. And that is what the Girls' Assembly is about. It's about learning about governance. It's learning about policy and learning about protocol and having the experience to really participate in that. By doing that, you've shown your leadership potential. You've shown your appetite for seeing a change in the world. And just listening to the words that we've just heard from the government and from the opposition, the articulate way that you talk about girls' empowerment is really inspirational. You will lead and affect change from what I'm hearing. But I'd like to echo some words of the member of the government who was saying about supporting one another. That's also important. It's not just you supporting one another, it's looking for the support that's around you, whether it's for your family, whether it's for your colleagues, and it will be for men as well. This is a story of how together, because a more powerful, a more prosperous, a more equitable world is where men and women have equal opportunities and equal power. So in closing, let's all commit ourselves to accelerate action, to support one another and ensure that the next generation inherits a world where equality is not the exception, but the norm.